What happens when an intelligent, refined individual is presented with the opportunity to win $100,000? Civilized culture may never recover. See for yourself on the $100,000 Pyramid with Dick Clark. Weeknights at 6:30 on TV 11.
News 11 Sunrise, now from 6 to 7 on TV 11.
Hi, we're students at Hopkins High School.
Good morning, 11 Country!
From the Twin Cities Action Center, News 11 Sunrise, your new choice for news.
Good morning and welcome to Sunrise. It's bright and early, it is Thursday, and it's September 4th.
And I am Andrea Shane. It sure is nice to have you back, John.
Thank you, it is good. What happened to the last month or so?
Where were you? I don't know.
Flew by,
it's nice to have you back, and it's supposed to be a beautiful day outside. Did you hear about rain overnight?
It was very, very heavy rain. Let's check in with Roy Finden. Good morning, Roy.
Good morning.
It was heavy rain, but that's all gone, and this is the kind of a day we'll point to with pride and say, this is what September and summer in Minnesota is all about, at least this morning. And we'll talk about the balance of the day in just a few minutes.
Sounds great. Thank you, Roy.
Thank you, Roy. Topping Sunrise, 2 people are in the hospital this morning following a head-on collision in New Hope overnight.
Police and paramedics rushed to the scene to free one of the drivers from his wrecked vehicle. And as Carolyn Meriden reports, police say that both drivers would likely have suffered fewer injuries had they been wearing seatbelts.
Rescue crews worked to remove the victims. The head-on collision involving 3 cars happened late last night on Winnetka Avenue and 32nd Place in New Hope. Police say a car traveling in the southbound lane of Winnetka crossed the center line and struck the oncoming vehicle head-on. A third car then slammed into the rear of the northbound car. 2 people were taken to North Memorial Hospital. This morning they are in satisfactory condition. Police say they were lucky because neither were wearing seat belts and the injuries could have been much worse. The driver of the third vehicle was not injured. For Sunrise, Carolyn Meriden, News 11, New Hope.
And the victims have been identified as Browan Jansen and Brian Velachenko. No charges have been filed by New Hope police in the accident. Rescue squads in northeast Minneapolis were also busy this morning. A 19-year-old man fell from a third-story window at 2201 Fillmore Northeast about 12:30. Kenny Ring was taken to Hennepin County Medical Center, where he is listed in satisfactory condition.
There are no reports of injuries in Barron County, Wisconsin this morning, but cleanup will begin following a tornado that damaged trees and property late yesterday. News 11's Gail Pluwacki surveyed the damaged area.
No one was at home at the Simcoe place yesterday when a funnel cloud skipped through this area just outside of Chetek, Wisconsin. Joe and Harriet Simcoe were aware of the tornado, but it never occurred to them that it might hit their home.
We were standing just about a half a mile away from here watching it and waiting for it to pass by.
We all took turns yelling at the son-in-law to slow down so we don't run into it. That's how close we were to it.
But when they returned home, this is what they found. Joe's machine shop used to stand here. Nothing is left of the building, but the trucks parked inside were undisturbed. The twister tore huge trees from the ground and tossed them aside like toothpicks. What's amazing to Joe and Harriet is that although the tornado ripped out trees on both sides of their house, it never touched the structure. The Simcoe home was one of only 3 or 4 locations where the twister touched down, but they're still feeling very lucky. For Sunrise, Gail Pluwacki, News 11.
Officials in Barron County have yet to put a dollar estimate on the damaged areas.
Electrical power has been restored to Hopkins residents this morning. The nasty weather system that moved through the Twin Cities yesterday brought winds gusting up to 60 miles an hour, knocking out power. NSP says the power outage has been corrected. A pregnant Robbinsdale woman is being accused of killing her adopted daughter by shaking her to death. Jane Oslin claims her daughter fell from their sofa. According to the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's report, there were no external injuries to the skull, and the death could have resulted from being shaken or jarred. An assistant Hennepin County attorney now is seeking a court order to place Oslin's unborn baby into protective custody at the time of birth.
Just about a half hour ago, and Northwest Airlines jet safely landed in Honolulu. The flight had originally been scheduled to land there yesterday, but had to take an emergency landing at Midway Island last night. A cockpit warning light had indicated that there was a fire in one of the engines. As it turns out, there was no fire. The 338 people on board were stranded until a charter flight brought the necessary equipment so the jumbo jet could fly again. It's back to the drawing board this morning for engineers moving the old Broadway Bridge to its new location, Nicollet Island. The journey for the historic bridge started out smoothly as it sailed down the Mississippi, but the metal got hung up under a slung under the railroad bridge. It looks kind of strange. Crews tried to heave and hoe the bridge under the cranes, but couldn't get it all the way around the tracks. The bridge will connect Nicollet Island to River Place.
Yeah, they hope to get that straightened out today.
A bridge under a bridge.
Move it down to the proper position. That'll be a nice connector. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Oh, just fine.
Sounds like a good morning.
Oh, just delightful. You were out in it.
Well, yeah, briefly, very quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, the temperature is delightful. It's at 60 degrees this morning. The sky is clear. The stars are there. A little west wind at 13 miles per hour. The dew point is 58 degrees. Relative humidity is 93%. The pressure is at 29.86. And we'll be seeing some rises in the pressure in the next couple of days. No rises in the thermometer very much, however. This morning's satellite picture shows us the retreat of yesterday's and last night's cloudiness. A lot of clear skies, clear areas over the state of Minnesota, and so we're expecting some nice sunshine this morning when the sun is up here within the hour. Then later today, as the cold front that went through moves a little further east, there's a chance of a few clouds popping up during the afternoon and perhaps a sprinkle. But temperatures will be in the 70s, 60s a little bit further north where there'll be a little more cloudiness. So the details for today's forecast show that for this morning in particular, we expect a lot of sunshine, and the temperature will reach 69 to 74 degrees. But look at the winds, west-northwest 15 to 30, with some clouds this afternoon and perhaps a sprinkle. Then for tonight, mostly clear, 47 to 52, still breezy from the northwest. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy again, cool, only into the middle 60s with northerly winds at from 10 to 20 miles per hour. And it's part of a fairly significant change for the next several days of cooler. But with cooler comes sun, so heck.
So you're going to keep your pride even if it does get cooler?
You bet.
Okay, thank you,
Thanks, Roy. Coming up, unusual jewels that make people and make them look awfully good.
And a special day for older folks out at Canterbury Downs. Sunrise Business up next.
Budget Power, the home improvement expert, makes remodeling excitingly affordable during the Builderama sale. Save energy with easy-to-install Nomeco extra thick pipe insulation. Stops dripping pipes and quiets noisy ones. Replace your old furnace with a Holl furnace, up to 96% efficient. Complete line of heating accessories available. Insulate your exterior foundation walls with Styrofoam brand insulation by Dow Chemical and Akona Brush-On Thermoseal. Red Devil's Lifetime brand caulk is the first with a lifetime warranty against cracking, peeling, and separation. Shop the Builderama sale at Budget Power.
Tom Thumb reminds you that summer's going fast. So don't wait in line at the supermarket. Go to Tom Thumb, where you can shop fast and save money. Totino's 10-ounce sausage or pepperoni pizza is just 89 cents. Save on Pepsi. A 12-pack of cans is only $2.79. And assorted varieties of 7 to 10-ounce Nabisco snack crackers are just 99 cents. Tom Thumb, where you don't have to spend a lot of money to save a lot of time.
At Waterbed Warehouse, you pay less, a lot less. And at Waterbed Warehouses, you get more, a lot more. Here's another great example. Bookcase waterbed, waveless mattress, mattress pad, padded rails, and a 6-drawer pedestal, all for $399. Remember, if you don't buy your waterbed from Waterbed Warehouses, you'll probably just get soaked. Waterbed Warehouses, we've been here and we're going to be here.
60 degrees this morning, now 9 minutes past the hour. Airline passengers will soon have one less airline to choose from. World Airways has announced it's getting out of the passenger service business beginning September 15th. Several airlines have promised to honor World Airways tickets, and there could be plans to continue its freight operations, but about 1,500 workers will lose their jobs.
In our business report this morning, a major automotive manufacturer is setting its financing rate as low as it can go.
It's 0% financing will combat the competition. Kara King with that.
Good morning, John. Good morning, Andrea. Well, AMC car dealers may find themselves swamped this morning with potential buyers after announcing it's jumping into the car wars with a 0% financing plan. It's a sign of the times as a cut was announced to combat the moves of the competition in hopes of boosting the traditional sluggish AMC sales. Dealers are insisting the cut rates will not force them to raise prices, and customers may find wheeling and dealing the order of the day at AMC. In our business outlook, the Howard Johnson Company base is moving from its 60-year-old home in Massachusetts to a new location in New Jersey. The franchise system offices are being merged with the operations of Prime Motor Inns. The first Toyota to ever be assembled in the U.S. will roll off the assembly line today. The car is the Corolla FX16, a sporty version of the Corolla subcompact. The making of the world's largest accounting firm is in the works this morning. U.S. accounting firm Piet Marwick International and KMG of the Netherlands have agreed to merge. The two groups say the combination of the firms will employ 58,000 workers and have an annual revenue of about $2.7 billion. Wall Street will open in just a few hours. The Dow Jones Industrial Average will open at 1,800.32, up 10.96. The cooling of gold prices encouraged traders to shift their money into stocks, helping to support yesterday's rally. Work is underway on the fall and holiday jewelry collection at Shelly Hall. You may not recognize the company's name, but as Kirsten Lindquist reports, that doesn't seem to bother the workers who make the one-of-a-kind jewelry.
Work is underway on the fall and holiday jewelry collection at Shelly Hall. It's a name you may not recognize, but that doesn't bother the folks here. They create one-of-a-kind jewelry designs, and they're proud of that.
They know that when they get a piece of Shelly Hall jewelry, they won't see it on everyone else.
Shelly scavenges antique stores and basements for old buttons, computer parts, and plumbing chains she uses in her jewelry. Nothing is factory made, and all metalwork is done in the shop. Shelly wants her designs to be different and limits editions of pieces to less than 100. The operation is a communal effort. Even though Shelly and her husband co-own the business, they say everyone is management.
We work here because we have a pretty good time and enjoy each other's company.
Shelly Hall's business has mushroomed in the past 4 years. Her jewelry is in several hundred stores nationwide, and she's been featured in numerous fashion magazines. With prices ranging from $14 to $90, Shelly makes hand-designed creations affordable to everyone. For Sunrise, Kirsten Lindquist, News 11.
A lot of different designs.
It is unique. You said that.
It's very nice.
Still to come this morning on Sunrise, one farm lender fights financial problems while another gets tough with its borrowers.
Shifting work schedules can change just more than the way you sleep. It can harm your health.
An American journalist jailed in Moscow could go through a trade for freedom.
And the Twins take 3 from a neighboring team. Steve Carroll will have that and more in sports.
This is Judy with this week's Yellow Page specials. A fence company offering 1 foot free with every 5 feet purchased on wood or chain link fencing. And put your money to work, reduce taxes, and earn high interest. A personal financial program, a $295 value, now free with no obligation. The Connection voicemail, receive a free month when you subscribe. Call for all the details, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. And don't forget, the Connection can be accessed by modem 24 hours a day, and it's free.
Our lowest financing ever, 2.4%. At Hopkins Dodge, 2.4%. And that's not all. Right now, you can drive a new Dodge car or truck with absolutely no money down, like Omni. Just $121 a month and no money down. And there are 20 at this price. 87 Colt, only $125 a month and no money down. Now is definitely the time to get your new Dodge. 2.4% financing or no money down for a limited time only at Hopkins Dodge. Really, don't wait.
I often think, had I buckled my safety belt, I probably wouldn't be sitting here with a permanent disability. It didn't have to happen. If only there had been a safety belt law. Our country paid nearly $50 billion last year for auto accidents. You see, people who don't buckle up aren't the only ones who pay. We all do. It's your life.
So buckle up. And remember, it's the law.
The time right now is 6:14. This is day 2 of quarter horse racing out at Canterbury Downs, and senior citizens get $2 off the $3 general admission price today and tomorrow. Opening day, the sprinters drew in 3,500 people who bet a total of $307,405. Dashing Toro won. Races begin today at 4:30.
Dashing Toro really mowed them down.
It really did. It's nice. I love to see the quarter horses race. They're so fast.
They are. They're kind of a disappointing turnout, though. They were expecting certainly a lot more than 3,500 people.
Is
but
that right?
Maybe it'll catch on here pretty soon.
Twins caught on last
The
night.
Twins, the first time they swept a series in over 2 months. So there's joy in Twinsville this morning.
But it was against Milwaukee.
Well, it's, yeah, that's true. The Metrodome is spick and span this morning after the Twins swept Milwaukee clean out of town by winning all 3 games of their series. The final count in the finale was 11-5. Mike Smithson recorded his first win in over a month. The Twins had the day off before starting a weekend series in Boston tomorrow night. Twins played home run derby with the Brew Crew. MVP candidate Kirby Puckett started the fireworks with a 2-run blast to right center field. Kirby's 27th homer of the year. He went 4 for 5 on the night. A couple of batters later, it was Tom Berdansky's turn to take one downtown. Bruno's 21st of the season, but his first round tripper in over a month. As the Twins power their way past Milwaukee, the final count from the Metrodome was 11-5. Other games now, California beat Baltimore 5-2, while Boston was taking care of the Rangers. Angels lead Texas now by 7.5 games. Meantime, Boston is maintaining a 4.5 game lead over Toronto this morning in that tight Eastern Division race. The Sox top Texas thanks to a clutch 9th inning tie-breaking double by Wade Boggs. Michelle Tarver scores all the way from first in the play, barely beating the tag to lift Boston past Texas 4-3. Other finals now from the American League. Oakland beat the Yankees. Toronto defeated Cleveland 3-1. Kansas City slipped past Chicago in 10. By the way, Bo Jackson 0 for 4 in the night in that game. And in a 2-out homer in the bottom of the 9th by Kenny Phelps lifted Seattle over Detroit 3-2. Over in the National League, the Mets' magic number to clinch the Eastern Division pennant is down to 10 games this morning. New York beat San Francisco 4-2, while second place Philadelphia got beat by San Diego. The Mets lead Philadelphia by an amazing 20 games. Other scores now, St. Louis outslugged Atlanta. Los Angeles down Montreal 5-3. The Astros took a pair of games from the Cubbies. Houston leads the Mets now by 8 games because Cincinnati was beaten by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Some shocking news this morning from the world of college football. The NCAA has suspended 60 Nebraska football players for at least 1 game for misusing their complimentary tickets. The suspensions could force the 8th-ranked Cornhuskers to forfeit their nationally televised season opener Saturday against Florida State. University officials say they'll appeal the decision. On the pro side, the Vikings are fine-tuning their game plan for Sunday's season opener at the Metrodome against Detroit. Newly acquired safety John Harris is in camp, getting in shape after missing camp with Seattle because of a contract dispute. He won't be counted on the roster for 2 weeks. Meantime, the Vikings' running back Wayne Wilson is also in camp, but unlike Harris, Wilson could very well see playing time on Sunday. In some notes now, the Vikings have been tabbed 3-point favorites for Sunday's game with Detroit. Kickoff is 12 noon at the Metrodome. The Wisconsin football team leaves for Honolulu today for Saturday's season opener against Hawaii. The game starts at 7:30 Hawaii time, which means kickoff in Madison is 12:30 Sunday morning. And veteran golfer Arnold Palmer still has it on the golf course. He fired a hole-in-one on the same hole back-to-back days. He aced the 182-yard par 3 by using a 5-iron. So back-to-back hole-in-ones. I mean, one hole-in-one is enough for one guy, but back-to-back on the same hole.
He's probably had about 35 or 40 in his career, too.
I think actually they're only like 13 or 14.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he probably only had about 13 or 14.
you would think it'd be like 40 or 50.
Thank you, Steve.
Today is Thursday, September 4th, and it was on this day in 1948 that one of Europe's most beloved leaders retired.
Yes, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands abdicated her throne. For 50 years following her 18th birthday, Wilhelmina was one of the most respected monarchs and leaders of Europe. Her most trying years came during the Second World War, when she was forced to go to England, like so many of her country's refugees. After the war, Wilhelmina returned to start rebuilding her war-torn country. But shortly after celebrating her 50th year of leadership, poor health forced her to abdicate, leaving her daughter Juliana in power.
On this day in history, the company that owns that little yellow film box we all know got its name. In 1888, George Eastman patented his roll film camera and registered his trademark, Kodak. And on September 4th, in 1972, Mark Spitz won a record 7 Olympic gold medals. He swam in the 400-meter relay in Munich.
And for you Virgos celebrating birthdays today, go after things in a straightforward manner. Plus, avoid indecision as much as possible. Wonder if I should go ahead with this. Let's hope Craig Claiborne, the cooking expert, is also reading his horoscope. He's 66 today. Actress Mitzi Gaynor's 55, and Martin Chambers of The Pretenders is 35.
Coming up, farm leaders and farm lenders battle it out.
And a scheme to take your money is making the rounds. We'll have that and more still ahead on Sunrise.
For over 20 years, Bradley Exterminating Company has been providing quality exterminating services for fine homes, apartments, and businesses. And now, due to popular demand, we've also developed a complete line of quality products for the do-it-yourselfer. All Bradley Exterminating products are easy to use and packed with exterminator punch to get the job done fast. When you have a pest problem, look for a Bradley display in a store near you. Bradley Exterminating products. They work for exterminators, they'll work for you.
Available at Suburban True Value. Chances are you've seen these people. He is your grandson or the young man next door. She serves a rehabilitation program. Handy Ham serves the vision impaired. She volunteers time to teach and to tutor a disadvantaged. They symbolize the many ways people and programs make a difference in the Twin Cities. The Gannett Foundation tries to make a difference by funding local organizations that benefit local people. Together we can make a difference in our world. The Gannett Foundation, helping community needs.
Budget Power, the home improvement expert, makes remodeling excitingly affordable during the Builderama sale. Save now on the superb quality of Enterprise 10-year house paint. Feel how easy and smooth Enterprise covers your home, and in just one coat you'll have lasting beauty. Choose from a spectrum of colors, all on sale. See our huge selection of bathroom and ceiling lighting fixtures from American Lantern, crafted from the finest solid oak hardwoods with antique brass accents highlighting each fixture. Shop the Builderama sale at Budget Power, the home improvement expert.
Hello, I'm Smokey Bear, and these little fellows are gummy bears. We care about the forest and its creatures. But sometimes people get careless with fire, and our forest is destroyed. Please help old Smokey and the gummy bears. Be careful with fire. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
60 degrees this morning, and it's now 6:21. The storm that rolled through the Twin Cities yesterday had a bark worse than its bite. These thick, dark clouds formed when cold air met the warm air mass. The clouds did look a little ominous. However, the weather accompanying them did not turn out to be all that severe. That's the way it works, huh? Cold meets warm, and
kind of spooky looking.
That's it. Little golden
101 in weather.
Right there, yes, indeed. That's marvelous when one of those fronts comes, beyond the joy of just watching the
You
clouds.
people really like that, don't you?
Sure. You could feel that when that fresh wind turned around about 7 o'clock last night, came in the kitchen. It's just fine.
Gives you something to talk about, too,
this,
Roy.
And this morning, it's absolutely stunning. The temperature is at 59 now, the west wind at 10 miles per hour. Clear sky. The dew point is 56. The relative humidity is 90%. And the barometric pressure is at 29.88, and the pressure is rising. How much rain? Out at the airport, the official measurement in the gauge shows 84/100ths of an inch, and it's interesting to compare that with what is the average amount of rainfall for the whole month of September, which is 2.5 inches. So that means yesterday, the first several days of September, we've already had a third of our quota. Wonder what that means for the rest of the month. Well, let's look at today's weather map. There's the cold front that went past just after supper time last night, brought in that nice cool breeze, moving off in this direction. Now, up here, notice another cool front, and beyond that, the center of this area, this mass of cooler air. And the appropriate mechanism could get us significantly cooler for the next couple of days. And wouldn't you know, the appropriate mechanism is right here. The upper wind pattern that's setting up right now is producing a flow directly over us, directly from the north, and that's expected to remain with us through the weekend. So we're having a cooling, a big mass of cooler air is on its way and is expected to stay with us right through the weekend. And that, of course, means things will be a little bit cooler, but it also means things will probably be fairly dry. Nice combination. Here's the satellite picture. Look at all of this clear area. This is where the cooler air is coming down, and we're talking about cold meeting warmth. That cool air coming over some of the warm surface of the land this morning will produce enough instability to give us a little afternoon cloudiness, a few puffs of clouds, and if enough of them get together, they might even produce a sprinkle, but not much beyond that. With the arrival of this noticeably cooler air, It's a noticeably significant arrival, and that means some pretty gusty winds today as well. So the afternoon may not be quite as pleasant comfort-wise as the morning. So here we are, the chance of those clouds popping up and the chance of some sprinkles for today. A little up closer to the area of low pressure, which is retreating, a little more substantial cloudiness expected up in the Arrowhead. Things are changing. Here are the details for the forecast then today. Sunny this morning, a few clouds in the afternoon and sprinkling. 69 to 74 will be the high with west-northwest winds. Watch it 15 to 30 miles per hour this afternoon. Then for tonight, mostly clear, a little cooler, 47 to 52 degrees. Continued northwest winds 10 to 20. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy again, continued cool only into the middle 60s with a northerly breeze of 10 to 20 miles per hour. And here's what that upper wind pattern will do for your weekend. Sun, partly cloudy, no rain in that forecast as it looks right now, with temperatures a little on the coolish side in the upper 60s, when this time of the year an average would be somewhere in the middle 70s. So things are changing, but boy, this morning is just dazzling, John.
That's just what I was going to say. Thank you, Roy. In case you're just joining us this morning, here are today's headlines. New Hope police and rescue squads were called to the scene of a head-on collision at 32nd Place in Winnetka late last night. In all, 3 cars were involved in the accident. The drivers of the cars that collided head-on were both taken to North Memorial Hospital, where they are in satisfactory condition. According to police, neither driver was wearing a seatbelt. The driver of the 3rd car was not injured. Crews working on the Broadway Bridge may have a few bruised egos this morning. The historic bridge was being moved from its old northeast Minneapolis location to Nicollet Island when it became stuck. The crews are still trying to figure out a formula to get the bridge to its planned destination, but they aren't quite sure when or how they'll just accomplish that task. Cleanup begins this morning in Barron County, Wisconsin, that in the wake of a tornado that ripped through the area yesterday. While no one was injured, the twister pulled up trees and damaged barns. Officials there say at least 3 buildings were destroyed. A farm lender is fighting hard times this morning. Andrea is with farm editor Les Heen, who'll tell us all about it. Andrea?
Thank you, John. Dennis, this is an organization that many people rely very heavily upon.
Right, yeah, it's a farm credit system. The Farm Credit Service is the biggest farm lender, and they are having some problems. That is specifically that the farm credit system may need a federal bailout next year, according to one of its executives. An FCS director from Ohio says the agency's good farm borrowers are going to other lenders for lower interest rates, and that leaves mostly unstable and delinquent borrowers. John Westfall says the FCS needs to give more competitive rates or it will continue to lose money and perhaps even fail. Last year, Farm Credit Services lost almost $3 billion. And the actions of another farm lender are causing some angry calls to Congress this morning. The leaders of the National Farmers Organization and the National Farmers Union are asking Congress to change the loan collection practices of the FMHA. The Farmers Home Administration has turned 6,000 delinquent accounts over to a collection agency, something the lenders and the leaders say might be unfair because the government is partly responsible for the debt problem. And one thing that makes farm debt a little bit easier to handle, though, is the progress of many crops in the U.S. this year. Minnesota and Wisconsin aren't the only states with healthy cornfields. Illinois has about 1/3 of its corn crop mature already. That's 3 times more than usual for this time of year. And the only state which will likely have a bigger corn harvest than Illinois this year is Iowa. And the one area which has had some really severe weather problems this year is the southeast. And now relief for that area has slowed down dramatically. Since publicity for the drought has died down, so have shipments of relief hay. The latest large load to arrive in the southeast stopped in Maryland yesterday, but it will still be months, even with large rains, before fields in that area can recover much to produce again. So as you can see, it's a tough problem.
It is a problem. What are the prospects next year for them?
Not too good, because they're still having problems down there. Even though they've had quite a bit of rain, they need a lot more to get in a good fall planting.
We'll just hope.
Yeah, it's going to take time.
Still ahead on Sunrise, some young parents are falling for a gimmick, which means a lot of lost money. And from our Washington Bureau, a new battle against drug abuse. We'll be right back.
Follow the winners.
At Northwestern Electronics Institute, I learned all the basics of electronics. Here, I work on analog.
It's the new Matrix all-weather steel